to explain what happened yesterday, Nikki kind of explained it in the patron post. We started the chat here using our our cell phone data. The sea billies go in, and they're actually going in now, so that should be the last of the sea billies. We got like a couple more coming.
That's the guys wrangling them in. We'll give you a view here in 1 second.
Yeah. Oh, here comes one right now. Let me switch over. Here he comes. Sea billy. Yeah, they come that close to the boat.
Is the lens cover on the other side?
Yeah, oh shoot, the lens cover's on the other side, and that's a telephoto lens. I'm sorry, guys.
So they looked really close and blurry, yes. We're so good at
man,
this.
I am just a failure at YouTube Live. Okay, so the deal is we started on our Cleo, which is like the internet, the cell phone service provider, and it died after 15 seconds, and we thought, oh crap, it's not fast enough. So then we rushed over to the dock, tied up the dinghy as fast as we possibly could, ran to the first restaurant, internet was down. Ran to the second restaurant.
Internet's down.
Went to the third restaurant, internet's down. The second restaurant came down the street, got us. We fixed our internet.
So there was a power outage probably an hour before the live chat. We were actually at the grocery store.
Yes. We almost got sprayed by that guy.
They come really, really close. They're not very spatially aware.
No, no. But they're all happy. They're all on holiday.
Yeah,
this is like the holiday town.
It's their spring break, and they're hooping and hollering and having a good time. So
Yeah.
you can only get so frustrated.
That was the last one.
Okay, yeah, where were we? Oh yeah, so there was a power outage, and we were thinking maybe the towers went down for a brief moment, and that's what took it a little while to all come back online.
Yeah.
But then the internet came back up, and it still wouldn't work. So today, a little digging around, chatting with the RV geeks, and we figured out Ecuador is blocking YouTube live chat.
Yeah. YouTube
I don't know why.
live streaming, for some reason, Ecuador won't let us do it. We hit the 15-second mark, and bam, it cuts us off.
So
That's where we are.
yeah, we've gotten around the system. It's a good thing we're not publishing this video to the World Wide Web because, well, you know, just in
Yeah,
case.
it might be illegal. I don't know. We got this thing called Hide My Ass, HMA. We have an affiliate link for them
Somewhere.
that we got like 8 years ago.
Yeah, trying to avoid the whole Netflix
and
Amazon
Canada thing, yeah.
block, yeah, when we were in Canada. So we used it then and it worked well, and here we are yet again using Hide My Ass. So it's great company name, isn't it?
Yeah, but we're here now. It's just like, wow, what a day. Yesterday, we had 2 hours yesterday and 2 hours today, but let's just keep our fingers crossed. We only have 1.5 gigs of data left. So if it just ends, it's not us.
Yeah, but we're thinking it should last no problem.
Yeah.
But, well, we've seen how great our assuming is, so yeah. All right, but anyway, okay, I cannot see. It is way too bright out here.
It's too bright, so
I can't tell who's
we're
on here.
gonna start with some comments here that were left on the Patreon feed, and then Nikki's got the iPad, and she's gonna try to answer some of the YouTube questions.
Yeah. We'll see if that works.
Man,
but I
anyway.
don't know if I can see comments on here because I'm not seeing them like come through. I think the internet on here is too slow.
Yeah, this is the T-Mobile, the basically free international roaming, and it's 2G speed, so it's super duper slow. One question for everybody: can you hear us? Okay.
You get uncomfortably close.
Oh yeah, the lens is over here. Excellent. Okay, cool. All right.
Okay. Oh, we have 70 people. Excellent. Oh, hello everybody. This is so exciting. I see so many little comments. We hear you. Okay, awesome.
I think YouTube, I read a note that YouTube just relaunched the live thing, so once you rewatch the video, the comments are supposed to still
be there.
Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it.
We'll find out about that. Yeah, I can't see where to join in on the conversation here.
Okay.
So, anyway, we'll start with the questions you all left on Patreon because, well, that's what I said we were going to do.
Yeah.
So we should do that. You should show everybody around first.
Oh, okay. All right.
Before we do that. You're on the deck. You should see what the deck
You
looks
should
like.
see what we got
We're
here.
under our little shade structure, which does not work at sunset.
No, not at all. And hopefully it's not too shaky here, but this is the town of Salinas. It's a pretty popular destination. There's the Sea Belly launch ramp right there. And that's the Fancy Yacht Club. And now we have a connection that was going to get us in there, and he gave us a discounted rate of $60 a person just to use the marina. I'm not saying leave the boat there at the dock or tie the boat up or get electricity or anything. Literally just use the dinghy dock and get into the restaurant where we can pay for food. $60 per person. I mean, crazy. Anyway, this is Salinas. It is the playground for Guayaquil, which is the biggest city in Ecuador.
Yep.
That's where we are. Okay. I'm gonna try to set you back down softly.
Softly.
Here we go.
Okay, maybe once the sun starts to settle a bit, I'll be able to read these comments on the screen. We'll scroll back up. Okay, so starting with Jim. Jim, I hope you're watching. Have you covered traveling with pets yet? Not in the boat. What's the bureaucratic hurdles of entering a country with cats? Is it different for dogs? We have one of each. I think the dog and cat thing is very, very similar. Each country is a little bit different.
We have a wonderful patron who follows us, and Remy, she's supposed to be here. Well, she was supposed to be here yesterday. I don't know if she's here tonight.
Yeah.
She is so amazing, and she lets us know, I see you're going to so and such. Here's what I found out, and a lot of information about Australia.
She's a veterinarian, by the way.
Oh, she's a vet, yeah. And she said that we can actually take our pets to Australia, which was a big concern, but we have to do like a few certain things. And she gave us this website. So yes, in the future we will do a pet post.
Yep.
And it hasn't been any issue so far for Bahamas, Panama, and Ecuador.
It's a basic health certificate that's usually required, along with potential vaccines, but it's all the standard stuff. If you've ever boarded your dog or cat, more than likely you were required so much of exactly the same stuff. So you go to a vet before you take off, you get all your proper paperwork, make sure they're up to date on everything, and mostly you should be okay. But each website for every country lists what you need, and there is a website, I think it's called
APHIS?
Yeah, it looks like APHIS, but
yeah.
Anyway, I can put a link, I'll provide a link. Anyway, I know I'm in the shadow now.
This is the Genoa furler.
Talk to the blackface. I'll put a link for that website, but that one's really good. You can look up whichever country you're going to. It'll give you a link to their customs page for what's required, and then they will list out what they think is required. Anyway, it's been a really good resource. Remy gave us that website, and we've been using it ever since.
Yeah. Oh, I want to tell you something crazy. Something so crazy. 2 months ago, Chase locked me out of all of my online accounts. I have zero access for my bookkeeper during tax season. This is Chase Bank. It's a very popular bank in the United States. If you're from somewhere else, you might not know of it, but they have literally screwed me 100%. And now I have to fly back. I thought about this because I saw a thing pop up. Somebody said hello from Dallas. I'm gonna be flying back to Dallas in about, well, 2 or 3 weeks maybe.
Whenever we get our notification back that our visas have arrived, as well as our passports, then Jason will book a flight. So featured meetup with Jason.
In Dallas. for 10 minutes. It'll be a 10-minute, like a power cocktail hour or something. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go get all my banking sorted out and get a driver's license, because apparently there's islands in French Polynesia that are big enough to drive around. I just had in my head that was like these tiny small islands with...
But they're bigger than that, there may be times where we want to rent a car to explore, and right now we can't do that. We can't rent a car here either. Yeah. We got away with it for our keto trip because of Kate, so now Kate's gone.
And we don't have anybody to rent us a car.
And we don't have anybody.
We have to take the bus. It's 12 hours.
No, it's gonna be like 14. It's gonna be absolutely an adventure.
Yeah,
that's what it's
still working on what we're gonna do with the cats. So anyway, that was my total information you might want to know about me.
That you're going to Dallas.
That I'm going to Dallas, and we're waiting on our passports.
Texas. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Yeah, okay.
I know, but I want to see what everybody's saying, and it's driving me crazy.
All
day adventure, exactly.
Oh, geez, no, it's a double day adventure.
No, so my birthday was January 27th.
And she forgot to renew her license.
So my license is expired too.
Yeah, and mine I can't renew online because I think specifically because I have a commercial license. You have to do it in person every time, which is, I'm gonna try and get that notation off because I had that because of the RV.
But mine I can't renew online either.
Because you
Yep, exactly. RV Geeks. That look from Nikki said it all. Yeah. Why would you throw me under the bus like that?
It's true. She forgot.
That's not true love, honey. Lots of wind noise.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Sorry.
Oh, the boat just turned this way, so now there's lots of wind noise.
Yeah, we're getting it from.
I don't know where the microphone is. Anybody know where the microphone is on an iPhone?
Quick, Chris and Shree, are you on there?
Yeah. Or geeks.
We needed a commercial license for the RV. Yes, we
Because
did.
it was over 26,000 pounds.
Yep.
In Texas, it's generally required. It's kind of a gray area.
Yeah, if you're over 26,000 pounds. Did you say that already? I think you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that better with the wind noise? We just turned again.
Yeah.
The item on the bottom?
Yeah, it's
the
the
mic
button.
is on the bottom.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
by the button.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool.
Okay, good. That's better. We turned back. It like turns almost sideways there.
Yeah, so it's coming right into it. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, next question.
Okay, next question. Here then gone. You guys
Hey,
are
guys.
you're getting ready to take off. Very exciting. Do you try new dishes from areas where you are with ingredients that you have never had before?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes, mostly fruits so far, although we found a couple of vegetables that are new, but not many. Mostly fruits around here, and there have definitely been some really interesting ones, mostly all good.
Yeah. A lot of them have lots of seeds or really big seeds, so you have to like put the seed in your mouth and then suck on it and then spit the whole seed out. It's some super weird stuff. Some's really good and some's just kind of just okay.
Yeah, but it's been very interesting, and then they do cook with some of it, so we've kind of been experimenting a little bit here and there, mostly making cocktails with it, if I'm completely honest. But they make excellent cocktails, all those fruits.
Oh, and one thing I was really worried about was the local and the craft scene that we have in the States. I was worried we wouldn't get that in our travels, and here in Ecuador they have amazing coffee, like $5 for a pound
Of really good coffee.
Yeah.
So really good coffee here. A lot of chocolate is grown here, so we can get the best chocolate bars for like $2.
Yeah.
That would easily be 8 or 10 in the States. Fresh
Cereals
cocoa powder, and they do
Oh,
lots
yeah.
of because the Andes Mountains are here. They do lots of grains and oats, and so they have lots of organic, like grown here in Ecuador, and then really interesting people doing interesting things. I'll have to show you more of that.
At the store. Maybe when
At
we
some
provision,
point. There we
we'll
go.
film a little bit in the
Show
store.
you some of the local brands
Yeah.
that we're finding, because some of them you may be able to find in the States. If you're just curious, I can tell you the ones that I like the most. So definitely keep an eye out for that in a upcoming video where we provision. I will definitely do that. Excellent question, because I like food.
Yeah.
Okay, Christy Wheeler, travel plans, short and long term. That's a good question we wanted to talk about.
Back on that other one, we also just a couple days ago we found a rum that was made in the Andes here in Ecuador. So
It's very
man,
good.
it's so good.
And it's what, like $9 a bottle?
Yeah, and it's a beautiful bottle.
Price is
Yeah.
great.
Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so Christy asks, travel plans, short and long term. Well, you know us, we don't plan that far in advance. We know that we're going to French Polynesia, and we have applied for our long stay visa, meaning that we've applied for a year or more. That's also because we know we're going to get there. We don't want to just have 90 days, which is what you get as a U.S. citizen. All you UKers and EU people get unlimited, just about, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's not
Much
us.
better than us.
So we only get 90 days. It's not quite enough for all those islands and atolls. It's just so vast, so spread out. We want to really, really explore it all, and 3 months is not going to cut it. So we've applied for the long stay visa. That's what we're waiting on now. It is a 6 to 8 week wait. We're coming up on week 6, so we're hoping we're going to hear back any day now. Hopefully you can still hear okay. So we're waiting on that. As soon as we get that, then we can take off.
And really, we're trying to decide about Galapagos, and we have to wait for our passports to come back because they're in French Polynesia right now. So our visa here in Ecuador is going to run out very soon.
So that's the issue that we're running up on, is we may max out on our time here, and we would only, by the time we could actually get to Galapagos, we may only have a week or two, and we don't know if it's worth paying the like
$3,000, yeah.
Yeah, it's like $2,000 by the time it's all said and done, for check-in and clearance and all the fees and everything else. Plus, we're really concerned about the condition of our bottom, and there's nowhere for us to haul out here, sadly. All the lifts are way too small. So, yeah, it's a conundrum. I think if we have enough time, we'll give it a go. We've heard very mixed reviews about taking your own boat there. Is it really worth it? Is it worth the fees when you could just take a nice cruise or just go fly and stay on the island and do all, because you can't do anything.
Yeah.
We cannot even, like, go around on our dinghy. We have to take their transportation. We have to be with a guide at all times. If you want to do any tours, you got to take a tour. Oh, one of you, somebody just recently commented that you were going, so hopefully you'll give us some tips on how your trip went. So anyway, we're very on the fence, and I think we'll leave it up to, do we have enough time left? And
Yeah.
that will be our deciding factor, and then we kind of take the pressure off of ourselves.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And go straight to French Polynesia. Yeah. French Polynesia is beautiful water, clear, lots of fish. So beautiful islands that just rise out of the water with mountains and jungle. So I think we're gonna love it there just as much, and it's not gonna cost us $3,000 to visit for a week.
Yeah. So that's the long and short of it. French Polynesia, we don't know where we're gonna go from there. Maybe New Zealand, Australia. I think it'll depend on the cats. Possibly just go straight to Thailand. I don't know.
Yeah. Man, the sea billies are normally gone before 6.
I know, they're really partying late tonight
Jeez.
on vacation. Okay, let's see here. Kim, are you going to the Galapagos? Well, we just answered that one. We don't know yet. Sue. Hello, Sue. Will any legs coming up be the longest offshore you've sailed? Yes.
Yes, I looked it up a couple days ago. Just a straight line. It was 4,000 nautical miles, I think.
To get to
From
Marquesas?
here to Marquesas.
So yeah, it's going to be very long. We're estimating anywhere from 20 to 30 plus days at sea. It's going to be a long one. Going to be a long one.
Yes, we do need a computer guy on board. I saw that comment come up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Was that from that Joe?
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but I just saw you need a computer guy. We need an editor, we need a filmmaker, we need a designated polisher and bottom scrubber.
We've been feeling a little swamped lately, to be completely honest, with everything. Trying to keep up with all of it and get the boat prepared. It's a little daunting, but we're working on it.
We're making it. We're working through it. It's been very trying, if we're perfectly honest, that we've had some knockout conversations about it because it's such a struggle some days.
Yeah, so we're just trying to figure out our whole work-life balance thing a little bit better. It's definitely a struggle. It's always been a struggle,
Yeah.
I guess, this lifestyle, but it's been more so because of the boat work. It's been more than, I guess, about what we expected, but still more than we expected.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's all good. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's just something we have to figure out. So we keep kind of playing around with different, I guess, productivity things, just
Yeah.
trying to figure out what works best for us. So once we, I think, nail it out, and if we have something really good, then we'll definitely share. But right now we don't have it down.
Our dream would be to get almost caught up with our videos.
Yeah.
So we could be more close to real time and shoot more on the fly. So anyway,
Definitely.
but that
Because we
official
like the
announcement.
interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The official announcement will be once we get caught up. If that ever happens.
Sue also asked, are you going to have any other crew members join you? I don't think so. The idea is we'd really like to do this leg on our own. It's going to be our longest passage yet, and we have not done that many days at sea by ourselves. So we really want to do just the two of us. We want to do that on our own, and then I think we'll start picking crew back up. Definitely open up crew opportunities for French Polynesia. There'll be lots of good opportunity to allow a couple of patrons to come out and experience that.
Yeah.
So definitely look for, we'll make that announcement once we arrive, because then we know we're there and we know for sure that we can schedule something. Until then, it's just too up in the air. We have no idea when we'll arrive, and if anybody booked a flight, we couldn't make it, we would feel bad. So scheduling is a real pain in the arse when it comes to sailing. So anyway, okay, let's see here. Sailing Doodles just set sail for French Poly. Does this mean you're almost ready to cross, or will you be waiting till next year? Well, we're definitely getting ready to cross. Spend the summer in Alaska. Do you know we were very tempted to actually just point the boat that direction and go to Alaska, but we're going to save that for later.
Different boat.
Yes, we would like to do cold weather stuff, but that would but it would be a better idea to do it in a different boat. Check check out Mr. Fleming's yacht videos. You'll love them. Sorry for rambling, Ken. Thank you. Actually, somebody else who was not in this set of comments, but somebody else sent me a great link to a guy who lost his steering on a Leopard 46. That was a fairly informative video, so thank you for sharing that. What model of drone are you using? How heavy wind can you fly it in? That's from James. James, the drone is a Mavic Pro. We have the other Pro Advanced 3.
DJI Phantom 3 Pro. 100% easier to catch on a boat is the Phantom because of the feet. So it's really easy to grab. The Mavic's kind of scary, just kind of trying to grab it. But other than that, the Mavic's great.
It's very easy to fly. There's not a huge learning curve when it comes to it, so I really like it for that aspect, especially for newbies, because like Kate had just gotten one when she came on board. We did lots of flights with her, and she was very surprised by how easy it was to pick up. It wasn't as intimidating as she thought it was going to be, so that was good.
If you have the space and the budget, then the Phantom 4 is definitely a better drone. No doubt. I mean, the lens is bigger, just overall. The Mavic's great for being small it is, and that's what's great about it.
It's so portable, which makes it really awesome, and it still looks great. And how the wind, well, I would say probably the highest wind I've flown it in would be 20 knots, and you lose your battery power a lot quicker because it's working really hard, and it's very hard to get really good steady shots because it's consistently working. But it surprisingly handles it really, really well, and I'm sure as I've headed up and been in valleys and stuff like that, as I come across, I get those high velocity warnings, so I know I'm hitting much higher wind speeds. I just don't know what they are. I'm real focused on my shot, so I haven't paid attention to that, but I should look and see if I can figure that out.
I did notice a couple questions about asking if you can land the drone on the boat. You cannot land the drone on the boat anywhere, especially with the sails up, because the wind gets really dirty behind the sails. They call it dirty wind, so it's just flying off the sails in really weird ways. So that's how you crash the drone. And
so always from the front, land on the bow somewhere.
Yeah, and you can't land on the trampoline because there's holes, and it just confuses the drone.
Yeah, it's better to hand catch. It's just safer that way. Oddly safer that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you guys hear okay? The boat just switched again.
If you have trouble, let us know.
Yeah. Lost one on the water trying to land on the boat. Yeah. That's
sorry about that, Bradley.
Yeah.
That's a sad loss.
That is exactly why we keep putting off, flying it. And we flew it that last time with my family, but we only did that because we had so many eyes out. So.
Yeah. I just saw another drone question, I think. Let's see. Heather asked, you need to check out one of the Volvo videos. Onboard reporter flew the drone from the boat back on and through the boat, but up through the forward deck hatch. Holy crap, and back. Crazy. Yeah, real crazy. But that's awesome.
Oh man, yeah, it's a little blurry. Like I said, we're on cell phone data, so with the maximum quality we're gonna get is 480.
Yeah, I saw Keep Your Daydream just said hello. What's up, guys? Anyway, we did an interview with them a while back. We'll have to post that because I don't think I ever saw that. Anyway.
Hey, Francisco. As you can tell, the sun just went behind a cloud, so we can actually see.
Yes, we can actually see everybody now. What's up, Francisco? Hey. Okay. I get so excited. It's fun doing these. I hope you guys like them as much as we do because we otherwise we feel like we're broadcasting out and it takes forever to get comments back. But this way, I'm like reading right as we're talking. It's great.
It's coming, I promise.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, man.
That's okay. We were talking about that work-life balance. We know the struggle.
Okay, everybody. Okay, what are you drinking? That's what I just saw one come off. And we are testing wines because everything we've read is that the wine and the beer is outrageous in French Polynesia.
To stock up here.
So we're looking, right now we're drinking a cheap $9 bottle of some Chilean wine. Chilean and Argentinian wines are pretty popular here, and they're very inexpensive.
Because it's right next door.
Yeah. So
we would go visit if we had passports.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what we're drinking, and we're trying to drink as much wine as we can over the next month so we know what to stock up on.
Yeah.
It's a tough job.
I'm up for the challenge.
Everything's expensive in Tahiti, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so James asks, sorry, that's already James' question. John, did your pack meals have any difficulty bringing in your parts and presents to Panama? Yes. Jason Small
she almost got her. Now we probably having tough time to hear. Jeez, friggin' sea billies.
We call them sea billies because there are usually rentals, which mean they don't really have any sort of seamanship or they don't understand rules of the water. So they just are crazy and nuts out here. So we call them the hillbillies of the sea.
Oh man, I was in the middle of saying something.
Oh, about your mom getting almost arrested.
Oh yeah, she almost got arrested in Panama because she had so much. Our windows are delaminating again. We just had them done like 6 months ago. Almost a year now, I guess, but they should last 5 minimum. So we're having to redo the windows. So she had to bring a bunch of caulking because you can't get the specific type of caulking in Panama.
We tried.
She had like 40 tubes or something, so of course customs gave her a hard time, but it turns out it was just a communication error. They just wanted her to pay like $18.
Yeah, and she was like, are you kidding me? Because she was held in customs for a long time. Actually, the customs officer and a police officer escorted her to the anchorage. Yeah. Because they believed that she was coming to a boat. And then sadly, that's when Jason was stuck. If you remember from that video, he was out trying to get fuel, you know, illegally.
Illegally get fuel, yep.
Yeah, so he was illegally getting fuel. She couldn't get a hold of him. He couldn't get back to the boat. I was stuck on the boat.
Custom agent is waiting. It's good. It's dark now.
I can't leave the boat to come to the dock.
We only have one phone. She can't contact anybody.
No, you know, which of course the radio, but nobody knows that. And nobody in Panama uses the radio. I don't know why. Only the cruisers do. That's it. Yeah, so anyway, it was quite the ordeal, and it was very interesting, but it was all fine in the end. And everybody else had zero issues. Everything else they brought, the lines and everything else, it was no problem. So
the funniest part is they were giving her a hard time about the 40 tubes of Dow Corning caulk, but she's carrying in the other hand a $3,000 computer, brand new in the box. It's my Alienware that I got.
And they didn't care at all about that. And she was like, this is actually way more expensive than these tubes of caulk, but okay. Oh, Nikki had promised something. Let's see what that. Oh, Nikki, you look pretty innocent. Jason, not so much. Okay.
Yeah, it was a blast. Unfortunately, I had to cut most of that out of the video because it was late at night. We got back, we tried to explain it, and it just made everything drag on.
Yeah, and it was pitch black and grainy.
There's so many amazing things that happen that are just funny or worth sharing. It's just impossible.
You either don't have a camera with you or you don't feel comfortable trying to film it because sometimes you're doing something illegal and you're just trying to make sure you can get the guy paid and make sure nobody's paying attention. Yeah. So yeah.
What are the cats drinking? Catnip on ice. Oh, somebody asked if the crew members, the kitty crew members, had escaped.
So Singa took a flying leap off the boat. Was that last night?
Last night?
It was last night. Last night or the night before?
It was the night before.
It was the night before. Chasing a bird. That's what he's come really close a couple of times trying to catch either a cormorant or something like that. You have to like walk it this way. So yeah, anyway, he took a flying dive off the boat. It was absolutely hysterical, but he was back on lickety split. So our little training of getting them to go to the sugar scoop is working. He was on the side, swam right back, and before we could even see where he was on the side, he was already back on the boat, you know, licking the salt off. So anyway, yeah, there was that adventure. That was fun. But luckily we don't let the cats hang out outside when we're not here. So if we're gone, we put all the screens in. They're closed up, so we don't have to worry about them, especially Singa. Cleo, she just doesn't do that kind of stuff, but Singa's a madman.
Send you a PFD for cats.
But it's on my list. I've tried a few and they don't fit them right, so it's just going to drown them or they slip right out of it. So we're having trouble finding a really well-fitting kitty PFD. The ones that are made for dogs sometimes actually have a tendency to want to dip the cat's head because they don't fit the same. So it's very important to get a well-fitting PFD.
Although that was Remy. So Remy, if you know of a good cat PFD,
because I'm sure that's a question she gets all the time.
Yeah.
Although you do live in Florida, so.
Yeah. Definitely less humidity here in Ecuador than we had in Panama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that question come up. And then the flying nun thing, that's a shade structure. It covers the forward cabin and the front part of the salon.
Okay.
Hey, Connie.
What's up?
No problem. We were late by a day.
Yeah, so you're just in time. Okay. Oh, this is from Paul. He asks, how are the Eco Boat upgrades working out? Composting toilet, using elimination of waste, solar panels, lithium batteries in particular. Thanks in advance. No problem, Paul. Composting toilet, we'll start with that one. That has been mostly fine. We never had any issues with it, and there haven't really been any issues. It's just, for somebody new, Kate had no problems with it. She really dug the composting toilet way more than she expected that she would. So with other people, they don't sometimes quite understand.
You have to dump the urine tank before it's full. So they would let the urine tank fill up, and then they would go, well, oh crap, I gotta dump the urine tank, and then they wouldn't dump it, so then it would overflow. And
because it would be the middle of the night, they'd get up, want to go pee, and then forget that it was already full.
Yeah.
So that was Jason's sister that made that mistake. But I guarantee you she won't ever do it again.
No. Just a soppy mess. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's still, everything functioned fine.
And it's all contained into a little basins. It's not that bad, but if you're not used to having to deal with your own waste, even just a little bit of urine, but she handled it like a champ, cleaned it up, no problem. But yeah, so that was the first for that. Otherwise, they're working out really well. We're not going through that much cocoa core, surprisingly.
Yeah. Solar and batteries are doing great. The new inverter's doing great. We're testing these MPPT controllers. Everything's working wonderful. So
yeah, no complaints. We've been really surprised because we've had a lot of cloudy days, and yet we're keeping up no problem, and I'm still cooking and doing all my stuff. So right now our balance seems to be really good, that we're not having to run the generator. And we even had a couple of days of like cloud and rain, and we still made it through and then topped right back up, and we've been at 100% multiple days by at least noon, which is fantastic. So yeah.
That's if we don't use the computer. If we're on the computers, then
it stays around 80.
It's a struggle.
What?
I just heard a funny noise.
Yeah, it sounded like a crash. Hopefully not.
Different boat. Okay, not our boat. What was I saying? Struggle. Yeah. Oh.
If we're running the computers.
If we're really running the computers a lot, then we'll end up at 70% at night, and then in the morning we'll end up about, I don't know, 60 or so percent. But then we'll get back up to 80 during the day, and then just basically on repeat.
Yep. One quick question from Heather. She says, I can't remember if you guys been able to get or already have a sat phone for the crossing. So what we do have is we have the Iridium InReach.
Nope, 15 minutes to sunset.
Whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop.
We'll give you a glance here in just a moment. Sat phone, yes. So we have the Iridium InReach, so we can text, communicate by that.
Nope. She's getting her names all mixed
Iridium
up.
InReach, Garmin InReach.
We have a Garmin InReach, so we can tweet.
I'm like getting things messed up.
We can tweet and Facebook from that. And that's the thing that you guys follow us on, that leaves the little dots. Yeah, the little dots as we travel.
So that's been really great.
Yep.
And I'm contemplating turning on messaging for the long crossing, because you can actually send us messages and we can send you messages while we're on the trip. You can do it from that map. Anyway, so yeah, we'll have to give that a go. But we have that. We also have the Iridium Go, which does connect to our phone, and we do get satellite phone minutes with that. We have 150 minutes for the unlimited package or whatever, and we turn that on for passage. So yes, we do have that. It is not a proper satellite phone, but we have plenty of communication. Plus we have ePerbs.
Yeah, plus it connects to our phone.
Yeah,
so,
no, it is. We can still legitimately make a phone call.
You can make a phone call from the iPad or the iPhone or an Android phone or whatever.
Yeah, so the Iridium Go is quite amazing. We get email through that. Of course, it works with our Predict Wind offshore app for weather. So it's really, really awesome. We need to do like a proper in-depth thing on all of those things, but you know, time for that answer.
Yeah.
Hi from Riz in Dallas. What's up? Oh, and OKC. Locals talked about American politics. Yes, oddly enough, we get asked about Trump a lot.
In Panama. We haven't been asked.
No, here, not so much. But in Panama, they were very in tune with American politics.
Yeah, but it's really funny, even here, you tell people you're from Dallas, Texas, and they don't quite understand.
Yeah, they
Like,
don't.
normally it's like,
register.
oh, the Dallas TV show, or it's Dallas Cowboys,
Yeah.
or it's like, boom, boom, you know.
They give us a blank stare. We usually have to tell them Estados Unidos, United States, because it doesn't clue in. So surprising. Everybody doesn't know where Dallas.
I
Texas
know, that's
is.
crazy. I just
Come
thought
on.
everybody
It's
knew
like
where Dallas, Texas is.
Texas is its own country practically.
I know.
Okay, so let's see here. Wendy, I was always curious as to any security system you have in place when you leave Curiosity for your day trips and such. Is it simply locking the doors? And Nikki, are you still playing the ukulele? No. I remember reading this question before. Security. Okay, so first of all, quickly tell them, because we've talked about making a video about this, but I don't think that makes any sense. Why would you publish for the whole world to see exactly what you do to secure your boat when you leave it? I would love to put it out there because it is, I think what we do is pretty decent. We've picked up ideas from fellow sailors. We brought over a lot of it from what we used to do in the RV. But I just don't feel comfortable putting that out there for the general public, for anybody to search. For you guys, not such a big deal. I trust you, oddly.
So basically the security measures, there's no sort of cameras or anything like that. And
No.
that's
And there are plenty of people who have like full-on alarm systems and cameras.
Yeah, there's one company we looked up that did like these amazing alarm systems, but it's just so expensive. And then you have to have data going, so you have to have some sort of sat internet constantly. So what we do is we disconnect the batteries, and the battery disconnects are in really weird places, so unless you knew this specific boat, you wouldn't know where they were.
Yeah.
We disconnect the windlass, so you can't pull up the chain, so you can't pull up the anchor. We disconnect by disconnecting the batteries, it disconnects the
Electronics,
engines.
the engines. Yeah, so you can't start the engine, you can't pull up the anchor. So you would have a lot of figuring out to do in order to just take off with the entire boat at least. Now, granted, most of the time people don't take off with their entire boat. They come and they raid the boat and they strip everything off of it.
Yeah. There's not much we can do about that.
No, if somebody really wants into the boat, they're going to get into the boat.
Yeah.
We try not to leave anything out. We hide
visually out so they can see it.
Yeah, we try to hide our hard drives really well because we feel like, if somebody stole our computer, that's going to be a real bummer. But we don't really have anything super individually that we can't part with. And that's always the key. Don't ever have anything you're not willing to let go, especially on a boat.
Yeah.
So we try not to, honestly. Our work is our most, I guess, important thing to us.
Yeah.
So the hard drives, we try to protect those. We have them in like a little waterproof, fireproof safe, and then we hide them.
We have two different hard drives. One's in a Ziploc bag underneath like this hidden cupboard underneath a cupboard, like a hidden compartment underneath a cupboard. And then the other set is just like in a cabinet.
Yeah.
So.
And then as far as the ukulele goes, the only time I seem to find time to play is on passage. So I keep hoping that, especially on this next big passage, I'm gonna break past that super awkward stage that I am forever stuck in because I don't practice enough. So I never get to make it past the beginner frustrations, I suppose. And right about the time I get my fingers nice and calloused up and ready, we're here, and then
we're shooting video and editing video, and there's
going on adventures and taking care of the boat and everything else. We don't sit around, sadly, and read books or play ukulele or much of anything. It's usually always an activity, and if we have downtime, it's usually exploring wherever we are.
Or exercising.
Yeah, or exercising, because you would think you get a lot of exercise on a boat, and some days you do.
When you sail.
But other days you don't.
Coastal sailing, you get more exercise than probably ocean passages because you're on a similar tech.
Yeah.
Oh man, and I saw the geeks. You said you have to trust your people on board. We've had no issues with people on board stealing our computers, except for those two characters on the Panama Canal.
Yeah, I mean, they were a little sketchy.
Yeah, total sketch. I had to hide all the hard drives. And the drone. I swear they were going to steal the drone.
Definitely. Vicky asks, what have been your biggest surprises, both good and bad, since taking on this sailing adventure?
Okay, I'll go first. The biggest surprise for me is the boat chores. We knew there was going to be a lot of them, but they stack up. They stack up quick, and it's really hard to overcome that mountain mentally. So I guess that's sort of like the biggest eye opener that I feel like I can share of the first 2 years of sailing is be prepared for a lot of stuff to go wrong and a lot of stuff to need to be fixed, and it's all doable, and it feels like you get this accomplishment, this feeling of great accomplishment when you finish it. But trying to have a full-time job, ours being editing video and shooting video,
and taking care of the boat.
and taking care of the boat is another full-time job. So it's really a challenge. So mentally, you gotta be prepared for that.
I just saw the do we keep a schedule for the chores? Yes, we've had to start keeping a list. And
Hey,
don't chew on that, Singa.
hey.
The lines and a cat, but it's an oversized string. It's essentially their playground.
Hey.
So,
Come here.
what was I saying? Now I've forgotten.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. That's okay. Oh, a schedule. Yes, we do keep a schedule for all of the chores. Otherwise, we would totally forget. And I'm going to pick up because the second part, biggest surprise, is good and bad. So that would probably be the bad. The good is amazing sunsets. Man, I don't think that's showing up very well on the camera. It looks fantastic out there. Look at that. Okay. Yeah, epic sunsets. Water is amazing. I love the sounds of the sea. I guess it's the day-to-day stuff of just being on a boat and being on the water. It's amazing. You go on a road trip or you leave it for a little while, and I miss it very quickly. It's an addicting lifestyle. Regardless of the work or the frustration of customs and bureaucracy and everything else, it's still totally worth it at the end of the day, because we get to do stuff like this and hang out with cool people like you. And
Yeah.
totally understand. Exactly. Barry, do you have someone watch Curiosity when you so actually they're on a boat way over there. I'll try to point it out, and I should point them out because
Whoa.
man, I keep hitting that. I can't pay attention. Okay, let's see here. With a red stripe on it and a red stack pack right there. So they are actually patrons as well, but I guarantee you're not on this live chat right now because they're out celebrating at the moment and they're coming over for dinner later. They are called Skeleton Crew Sailing, and they are on a mission to sail around Cape Horn.
Don't sit on Singa.
You'll see them in a video coming up because we met them here in Ecuador. Anyway, they're taking on Cape Horn. They're doing it kind of inspired by Mission 22. It's to bring awareness to veterans coming out and trying to acclimate back into society, because there are 22 veterans who commit suicide, I think, every day or something like that is the stat. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, it's a really cool mission. You can check them out, Skeleton Sailing on Patreon or on YouTube. So they watched the boat for us, like just kept an eye on it. But that's the sailing community. There's always other cruisers around, or if there is, and that's a good time to leave your boat because you can talk to your neighbors. You always make friends. It's very calm just to dinghy up, say hello when you get somewhere, or they'll beat you to it and they'll come over and welcome you. It's a very connected community. Everybody looks after each other. Most of the time, everybody's really friendly. So finding a buddy to watch your boat or keep an eye on things for you isn't very difficult. Thank goodness. Everybody's really awesome. Okay, a really good question from Jamie, which I kind of answered, but tell everybody because we got a lot of questions about it. They didn't understand the whole leaving Panama thing, which was because we did get a visa. We got a regular tourist visa, the same stamp anybody would get when they enter the country in our passports. We did get that, and we did pay all the other regular fees. There is an additional Yatista visa that they are, or Yatista, whatever, that they were on and off again charging people. It was supposed to go away, but then it didn't, and some ports are charging it, some ports are not.
So we had friends checking out on the Caribbean side, and we had friends checking out in Balboa, and they didn't pay it.
Nope, they didn't.
They didn't have to pay it. They didn't get assessed this fee.
Which is why we were so shocked, and we thought, and at first we thought, well, maybe we didn't get the right stuff, but then we looked and we were like, no, we do have a visa. And then once we went to go fill out the paperwork and everything else, that's when we realized it was that whole Yatista visa, which is really just a because we can charge you extra money, we are going to.
Yeah.
Something about sailing and being on a boat, everybody assumes you are absolutely made of money. And sometimes that's regardless of the boat size or condition or anything else. It can be a very small boat on very meager means, and they'll all get treated the same way. So yeah. Anyway, I think we just got that day. Bad person in bad mood, I don't know.
No, I think he was very friendly. He was very friendly. Nikki was super frustrated with him.
I was
like, no. We just pay the man the money because you do not want to mess with immigration. But I think if we would have just turned around, left, and went to a different station, then we probably could have gotten out of there without paying that. So.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. Who knows?
Yeah.
But
at that point, we were ready to go, and now we just went all around town. And the last thing we wanted to do was try to go somewhere else at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, them tell us the same thing, and then us not be able to leave for another day.
Yeah, it was all a risk, and so at the end of the day, we just thought, I call it boat tax, cruiser tax. There's just certain things that happen, whether it's that somebody decides they're going to charge you extra money, you get hustled by some local fishermen, whatever the case may be. Like, it's just part of living the lifestyle. You just chalk it up to, but like, if this is the worst I have to deal with, so be it. And if I have to pay a little extra money someday to grease a palm, to let me go or get on my way, then that's just part of the lifestyle. Like, you kind of have to embrace it. And I was frustrated and I was angry, but then the moment we got to go, then I was fine and dandy all over again.
Dear Apple and YouTube, why don't you put the notes over here so when you're looking at the things come up, you're actually looking at the lens.
I know, instead of off the side.
Jeez, I'm going to have to send a message. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, and then a lot of people asked about, was it, maybe you should have avoided it. Bureaucracy happens everywhere, and Panama was still totally worth it. That little hiccup definitely did not tarnish our opinion of all the experiences we had and the amazing people that we met. So definitely Panama was still totally
Oh yeah, an extra $100 is, in the scheme of things, is nothing. And a lot of people asked about the extra axle. No, they had no idea what kind of boat we even had, because I checked out at a location that was across the way from where we were, and then we went into town to pay the immigration. So they just knew we were on a yacht. They had no idea if it was a catamaran or $1 million yacht or a $20,000 yacht. Loved your coffee, Connie. I know, that's great. Oh man, it was so good. My mom brought a bag of the geisha from Ben at Crema.
He sent it for my birthday, which is, we drank it for my birthday, which you will see coming up in a very soon video. So yes, the geisha coffee is still amazing.
Cat going up the mast, yep. I saw him back there.
This is his own private jungle gym. He loves it. Okay, so Thomas, nearly every cruiser tends to take the Panama Canal. My question is, why don't you take the southern route, the East Coast America, north on the west coast, similar to the Slocum route? Other than going around Cape Horn, I don't know of another route.
Yeah. Unless you're talking about the Northwest Passage, which is up through
it's the equally as challenging.
Ice-breaking northern Canada.
Yeah, it's all, you're going to deal with ice either direction, which this boat is really not made for. Aside from the fact that those capes, Cape Horn specifically, it's really not made for newbie cruisers, and we're still newbies. We need to do a few passages and get some extra, especially heavy weather sailing under our belt before we take something like that on, because it is known for being treacherous. You can reach 50-knot winds in a heartbeat, and they can last for days. Seas can be nasty. It's just not something for a newbie, and we're certainly not prepared for that yet. So that would be why. The Panama Canal is the easier route. It's
the fastest, and people said that, I noticed the comment a lot on YouTube that they would never pay the $1,500 that we paid to go through the canal. But if you think about it, to go around the Horn, that's like
the preparation required
days
for that.
And thousands of dollars of fuel, and
it takes at least 3 to 4 months to round the Cape. So doing that trip, that's wear and tear on the boat, the sails, the food and provisions you'll go through during that time frame, and everything else. So the Panama Canal, in all reality, is cheap. I mean, that's why it was made. It was the shorter, faster, least expensive route. That's why they made it in the first place. So the other routes are definitely exciting and fun and adventurous, and one day faux show, that would be amazing. just not for us yet.
He's going bananas back there. He is. It's a witching hour. The sun just set.
Great to see you. Yay, hey Randy.
NorCal. Man, I miss Northern California. We opened up a beer from North Coast Brewing the other night. It was one of our last ones. It's a whiskey barrel aged.
So good. So good.
God.
Okay, so Christopher asks, just curious to know if you guys planning on collaborating with any other YouTube sailors, or if you follow any other. Just joined them, super excited to be a part of the ride. Whoop whoop, welcome. Spanish speaker here, so if you need any help at I don't know if you can help this. My Spanglish is rocking.
Yeah.
We should show it. You gotta see the view one more time, and then try to get to these other questions.
Here you go. Because I can't see, hopefully it's level. Anyway. Bugs, yeah, we have 0 bug here.
That is not true.
Well, okay. Yeah,
if the wind calms down, there are a few mosquitoes that make their way on, but that's it. It's totally doable.
Yeah. Not like Florida.
No, thank goodness, man. Okay, so collaborating with other YouTube sailors, sure. If we can meet up with somebody, absolutely fantastic. Of course, we follow Delos and La Vagabond, but honestly, some of my favorites are the smaller ones. I really love watching like Failing Uma sometimes, catch up with those guys. There's so many. I tend to do more podcasts and blogs because those are easier for me on low bandwidth. I don't get as much time to catch up with everybody, but like Lazy Gecko, man, I'm like trying to rattle off people now and I can't even. But anyway, yeah, I should come up with a list. But there's so many awesome channels out there. The Skeleton Crew Sailing, those kind of guys just kind of got started, so they've only got like 4 or 5, maybe 6 videos out. But those interesting mission. So yeah, if we can collaborate, totally. But it's everybody seems to be in different parts of the world. We almost met up with Sailing Rand. We just missed those guys, which was a bummer. But anywho, okay. Riz and Maya, what's up? SV Nautical Dreamer. I keep meaning to add you to my little marine traffic notifications in case I see you guys. Lots of good topics here. Can't wait to hear your thoughts. A couple to add. How long are you going to stay in Galapagos? Kind of talked about that. However long we'll see. General itinerary for exploring. Covered that. Extended passage. What is your daily routine? Cool. I don't know that we have a daily routine. We try to do lots of different things. Oh, I have initiated a new one, which you will see in the video coming up. And I read about it in the
Heavy Weather Sailing book.
Yeah, it's not called Heavy Weather. It's Sailing a Serious Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
John Krishner,
Okay.
Something like that. Anyway, he does a captain's hour every day. And I thought that was an excellent idea. He said, normally we don't drink it all on passage. 0 zilch, not a none. And he said a small sip of rum or something like that. They call it captain's hour. It's just a great time for all the crew to come out. Helps the people who aren't on watch to sleep. And it's not enough. It's just a nip. It's just kind of a communal thing. It becomes a daily ritual. It's a great time for everybody together, watch the sunset, and have a moment of, I guess, kind of calm, peace, but togetherness at the same time. Because you kind of tend to all be on your own because everybody's watches are different and you're sleeping at different times and awake at different times. We do meals together almost every time. So that's kind of usually our one routine is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and now captain's hour.
Yes.
So it's something to look forward to each day.
SR, you asked about Galapagos, and we talked about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, so definitely go back to the beginning of the video and we cover that. Mark! What's up, Mark? All the international places you've traveled in your lifetime, rank the top 3 biggest pains and the top 3 easiest to get in and out of. We haven't been to that many yet, not on the boat.
Yeah, the airplane, I mean, doing it by airplane was easy.
We've never really had much trouble getting in or out by airport, and we have traveled to multiple countries that way, but no real major pain.
Getting into Panama was easy. It was getting
out of Panama that was a pain. Yeah. Ecuador, which you'll see in our upcoming video, is a bit of a challenge, but not too terrible. It was the same thing. It's leaving. It's checking in and out of these ports, and they make you check in and out of every single anchorage you go to. So that's annoying, but you know, not the end of the world. After RVing around the country, then sailing around the world, are you getting ready to learn how to fly by a plane and fly around the world next? It is certainly crossed my mind. I almost got my pilot's license back when we had the RV. We had a friend who did ultralights, and I wanted an ultralight so bad. He put his in a trailer and pulled it behind the RV. I thought that was genius. So he was an instructor. I had it all lined up and I was going to do it, and then we decided I wouldn't be able to keep up my hours if we were going to be sailing, and it would be expensive. So we opted out, but maybe later. Okay, we're getting low power.
So we might die here in a minute, and if we do, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Thank you all for being good patrons.
Thanks for sitting through all of the painful mishaps of yesterday and still showing up for today.
Man. So one more cheers. I got a little sip left.
You can tell who talks more.
Thank you guys very much. We literally couldn't do it without you, without your support, without having somebody to give us those words of encouragement when we're going through the really tough times and the boat's breaking and we're way behind on the videos. And it's just,
you're our community.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're our peeps, you're our crew, you're a tribe, and we definitely feel connected to you.
So, cheers. Cheers. We'll keep going until the battery dies.
Lots of love from everybody for strolling in. I haven't even drank a whole glass of wine yet.
This is left over from last night. We opened it and we didn't get to drink it.
I know. Fail. All right, last couple. I'm going to try to just fly through these. One thing you would do from Marvin first when you were back in the States today. Oh, snap.
Ooh, if I was back in the States today, big old veggie burger with some really good fries and some spicy, yummy barbecue sauce. Boom, and oh man, super special bourbon barrel aged beer. I think I would go to a brewery. Yeah.
Yeah, because good beer is very hard to find here. This is from Mary, can you think of anything you wish you'd brought from the U.S. before leaving? We've done pretty good, honestly, on stocking up for most everything, so not necessarily. Some things you just can't bring with you, like people.
Yeah.
That's usually what I miss the most. Do the noises and the smells on the boat ever get to you? If we're running the engine a lot and you're in that cabin, and a little bit, but it's actually not bad. It's really well sealed, surprisingly, and doesn't get to us. All of these jet skis and everything zooming by day in and day out, they're all two-stroke engines.
Two-stroke engines are disgustingly smelly.
Yeah, real smoky and fumy, and so those do get to me, actually. Christopher Morris, we're in Salinas, Ecuador.
Salinas, and you can always see where we are now, actually, on our website. In the very bottom footer of any page of our website, there's a little map. It says where we are now.
Yeah, and to Joe, I saw you chime in there earlier, but he put in here, I keep telling them they need a computer guy on board. It's going to happen one of these days. Mike Peterson, will you be able to roam about freely in the Galapagos? No, we're very restricted. Very restricted.
And everything costs money, so if you want to do anything, you have to hire a guide, which is not a problem, but you can't do anything on your own.
Do we ever feel cramped in the cabin? No. We have so much room in this boat. It feels like an apartment. And especially when I go over to, I don't know, even some of the lawn holes feel pretty spacious. So I don't know. I'm used to really small spaces at this point. So no, I think our boat feels big to me.
Yeah.
Feels like loads of space.
It's definitely bigger than the RV, except for the no land issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's...
Ian asked, how do you deal with the cats' litter? How much litter do you carry on longer passages, and how do you stop the cats from scratching everything on board? Well, you've seen how successful we've been with that tonight.
He's finally calmed down.
So not scratching everything on board. They're not too bad. There's a couple of spots that they tend to gravitate towards, so we just keep trying to stay on them. I try to spray pepper spray and cayenne and everything else on there. It does not deter them. And as far as the litter goes, it's a bit of a challenge. We usually try to carry a 3-month supply on board.
Yeah.
And it's heavy, so it is kind of a pain in the rear, but it's what you do for the furry people you love.
Yeah.
Jamie and Rebecca, burning question. Do you use a blow dryer on board? Do you cut and color your own hair? If so, how do you get supplies? Your hair always looks amazing. What? Thank you. Smoke and mirrors. The camera is much kinder than it really looks in person. Or that at least feels like. Blow dryer, no, it would be wind. No, we don't use a blow dryer on board. That would be a high draw device.
We
that
can.
just doesn't feel worth it.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I can if I really need to. And if it was cold, I suppose I would. But it feels like it dries so fast. All you got to do is stand on the side of the boat. The wind wishes by, and it's free blow dry. And then cutting our own hair. Yes, I have not paid for a haircut in I don't know 8-10 years, something like that. So I cut my own. You get good at it. It sucks at first, and you're terrible, and you have some bad haircuts, but then you get used to it, and you get kind of decent. And then you go get a regular haircut at a salon, and you think, I could have saved $75 and done that myself.
I could have had 2 bottles of rum.
Exactly.
Or 4.
So I cut our hair. As far as color goes, I haven't really been coloring my hair on the boat. I stopped doing that when we were in the RV. So this is all natural. The blonde everybody keeps asking about, they think I'm coloring my hair. That's the sun. If you look at photos of me as a little girl, I actually do have pretty blonde hair. It's very sun bleached and dishwater colored hair. So that's me, all natural.
One really interesting thing about Ecuador, you'll see it in one of our upcoming videos. We did an inland trip. The Andes are here. The Amazon is here. It is a spectacular country. The water, being on the water, it's cool. It's warm in the sun, but in the evening the wind comes out.
It's so nice right now.
Oh man, there's this just current that comes through. It's called the Humboldt current. It keeps everything really cool. Like the water is just slightly cooler and the air is cool. It's such a nice place to be on a boat.
Color with L'Oreal Dishwater Blonde.
How much sunblock do we invest in? A lot.
Yeah, I probably have at least 20 tubes as back suck on the boat. We use a lot, but that's also because I don't want my skin to look like leather. I have seen some lizardy looking sailors out there, I'm not gonna lie, and it scares me. So I try to use a lot of sunblock, but mostly we just try to stay out of it as much as possible. It is getting epic, I gotta show you.
I'm gonna ignore that comment about shaving my hair.
He gets a lot of comments. It just does not look the same on this